right, so I have a quote to share with you. It's by Emile Coulier. Emile Coulier. So if you want to look it up, it's Emile. Coulier is spelled Coue. Emile Coulier. Becoming one of my newest old dead guys. So Emile Coulier said, always think of what you have to do as easy, and it will become so. Always think of what you have to do as easy and it will become so. This is related to that question I was alluding to earlier. A coach one time asked me, what if it didn't have to be difficult? What if it didn't have to be hard? And that one question completely changed my world. So let me preface this first. I am so excited about our teaching call tonight. It's our live call. We've been gearing up for this for, I don't know, several weeks. I've had the script ready for several weeks. I've been very tempted to go back and change things, but I kept it because I know it's really good. I'm so excited. And so one of the things that we're going to do tonight is share with you 10 different tips on how to use your self-image, your thinking, your imagination, and really changing the script in your mind so that you can get to the results that you say you want in life. So, of course, I'll have all that information in the description and comments for you. We really hope that you join us. Honestly, you can be doing anything else and still listening. I know many of our listeners will be sitting down and taking lots of notes. Totally up to you. And, of course, I'm going to have a free gift for you after, so you're going to want to join. All right, so that being said, let's get back to this question. What if it didn't have to be difficult? Okay, so let me give you some examples. I remember working with my coach not too long ago, and I'm writing a PhD dissertation, which many people would say is difficult. One of the things I found out is the writing itself is not necessarily difficult. There are some difficult things, such as the hoops you have to jump through to make it happen. The process or the journey that you have to go through, that's a little difficult. And then this all, you turn something in and they turn it back to you, and little things like, misplaced commas and spaces and things like that. It can be maddening. Difficult, yes, but not really, okay? And so I remember talking to my coach about this, saying, oh my gosh, I'm just overwhelmed with the whole process. And she said, Michelle, what if writing a dissertation didn't have to be difficult? And of course, my immediate response was to tell her all the reasons why it was difficult, right? And then she said, I know, so what if it didn't have to be? What if writing that was easy? What would that look like? What would that feel like? What would you be doing? And I was like, well, and so I came up with this plan, and I said, well, if I were doing it and it was easy, then I would set aside time every single day, and I would just see what got done in that hour or 2 hours. I would just kind of honor the process, and I went through all of these different things, and she's like, what do you think about that? And I was like, oh, you're tricky. But I was like, wow, I could make this easy. And since then, I gotta tell you, it's been a whole lot easier. Now listen, some of those struggles have not, they haven't taken care of themselves. When I get a paperback, the first thing I think of when I get a paperback is, awesome, let's change something so we can make it better. Whereas before, when I would get it back, I'd go, more things to change, right? So that little shift in my mindset has me doing my dissertation in a very different way. So another thing is, she asked me, I was struggling with this pivot, right? The pandemic pivot, as I'm calling it these days. When you get email after email after email coming in and saying, sorry, this event is canceled. Sorry, this event is canceled. We're up to 67 live events canceled now from March to October. And all the pay that goes with it, right? And when your business is 100% live, in person, that's how I make my living. Let's just say that's difficult, right? And then when you're making that pivot to, okay, I have a certain skill set, I can make sure that I go out and, still talk, and, these videos and podcasts are really, honestly, a result of that pandemic pivot, right? She asked the question, what if building an online business didn't have to be hard? And so I began into that process again and really thinking that through and saying, okay, well, what would I do every single day? And not only what would I do, but who could I serve? And quite frankly, that question alone has really up-leveled my business because now I'm serving so many more people. I mean, think about that. If you go to an event that has 40 people, great, you have an impact on 40 people. If you do a live online event that has 40 people and then you record it and then you are able to give that, over and over and over again, well, your impact is increased, right? So that one question, what if it didn't have to be hard? What would that look like? What would that feel like? It broke me out of that pattern. Now I'm currently applying that question to what if parenting teenagers didn't have to be hard? What would that look like? Now, I can't tell you from this perspective or this point in my life the answer to that yet. I'm still fleshing it out. So if you have any answers to that, you figured out how to make parenting teens easy, shoot them my way, okay? Another area I'm working on personally and individually is what if having difficult conversations didn't have to be hard? Okay? Now, one thing I know is that the world is filled up of other people, right? And we're going to have difficult conversations at some point. So what if I could create something in my mind, a mindset shift that would say, Michelle, it's okay. It's just like any other conversation, right? So, the one thing I've noticed out of this, using this question as a tool, right? So it's a tool in my toolbox, like a hammer in a carpenter's belt. One thing I've noticed is that when you use this question, what if blank didn't have to be difficult? It takes out of the equation the feelings, the attachments, the thoughts that you have, the story that you tell yourself. It takes that out of it, and it kind of points your brain forward, okay? It's a natural kind of pointing forward question. And one thing that it does, it opens up more possibilities, more choices, more options for you than you would have ever thought before. Because you see, if your brain says, oh, this has to be hard, this has to be difficult, well, all of a sudden you point your direction that way, right? And you begin to continue to tell yourself all the reasons why it's hard. But if you use that question, what if blank didn't have to be hard? You give yourself permission for it to be easy. Now you have different choices. Okay? It's fascinating. I promise. Go and use this question. See what happens for you. Okay? One question has that much power. So what would happen if you could get 10 questions that might give you that power? I know I've already told you about our live call that we're going to do tonight, but that's my goal, is to give you questions that can be powerful for you. Come on to our call. Come spend some time with us. Yes, we're going to record it, so at some point you'll have access to that, but I really want to expose you to some thoughts about your self-image, how you look at yourself, how that is impacting your life, how you can change just a couple things so that can move you forward. So come and spend some time with us tonight. I would love to have you there. All right, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. I never, ever take it lightly when people choose to spend time with me, so thank you so much. If there's anything that I could ever do for you, please reach out. Let me know. I'll leave my email in the comments and descriptions. Just reach out. I'd love to chat with you. So with that, I release you into the wild. Go forth and prosper. Have an amazing day, and we'll catch you next time. All right, bye-bye.